Hi everyone. In this presentation, we are going to see the one-act play, The Proposal by Anton Chekhov. I am G.Nilanandhini, Assistant Professor of English, A.D.M. College for Women, Nagapattinam. Let us see the author introduction. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov was a physician, Russian playwright and a short story writer. Anton Chekhov was born on January 29, 1860 in Taganrog, Russia. He was famous for his masterful short stories and lyrical dreams. He is renowned as a master of modern short story. Chekhov was considered one of the major literary figures of his time. He was a leading playwright of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His plays are still staged worldwide and his work influenced important writers such as James Joyce, Ernest Hemingway, Tennessee Williams, and Henry Miller. He won the Pushkin Prize for his fiction in 1888. In 1900, he was selected to the honorary membership in the Russian Academy of Sciences for both his fiction and his drama. He died from tuberculosis on July 15, 1904 in Baden-Württemberg, Germany. His writing style, he was a key figure in the movement of literary realism. He had his own unique writing style called Impressionistic. The main theme in Chekhov's work are suffering, unfulfilled potential, and loneliness. In his works, the Chekhov reflects the fundamental human struggles of everyday life, ordinary things that happen, and the relationship of a people that lived in small towns and villages. He focused more on character, murder, rather than action in the plot. His works don't usually have a clear conflict or resolution. He used a variety of different writing techniques, including pacing, word choice to create his characters and reveal their changing moods. His famous plays are Seagull, Uncle Vanya, Three Sisters, and A Cherry Orchid. His well-known short stories are written between 1885 and 1899, and they are Ward Number 6, The Black Monk, The Student, The A.D.M., and The Lady with the Dog. Let us see The Proposal, the one-act play. The Proposal, originally titled as A Marriage Proposal, is a one-act play and a farce. It was written in 1888-1889. It is a short story based on Rutinarian play. The play is set in the rural countryside of Russia during the late 1800s. The title of the play, The Proposal, is very appropriate. A young man, Lemo, wants to propose Natalia for marriage. The play describes the love affair between and an argument between two families. The play also portrays how wealthy families seek to tie up with one another through marriages in order to increase their property and wealth. Anton Chekhov introduced the quarrelsome characters in this play. The characters lose their temper on a silly and trivial issues. One-act play. The one-act play is a form of drama that is written in one act as opposed to plays that are divided into several acts. A one-act play is usually shorter in duration than a full-length multi-act play and may contain one or more scenes within the act. Sometimes one-act plays may only have one character. They have fewer number of characters, and the character's development might be limited due to constraints of time and space. It usually has a running time between 15 minutes to an hour. It focuses on a single event or a problem. It takes place in single settings. They present a concise, focused narrative, making them a popular choice for drama, festival, and competition. The one-act play tends to focus on a single theme or situation unfolding over the course of the play. The structure of the play is concise and close-knit. The farce is a comedy that seeks to entertain an audience through situations that are highly exaggerated, extravagant, ridiculous, absurd, and improbable. It is used to describe something that is supposed to be serious but has turned ridiculous. Let us see the characters of the proposal. Stefan Stepanovich Chubokov, the landowner, the Natalia Stepanova, Stephen Chubakov's daughter, and she is 25 years old. Ivan Vasilyevich Lemo, a neighbor of Chubokov, a 35-year-old and very suspicious person and a landowner. The plot. Lemo's visit. The play opens with a conversation between Lemo and Chubokov. Lemo pays a visit to his neighbor Chubokov. Chubokov is very surprised by the sudden an unexpected visit of Lamo and gives him a warm handshake. On seeing his formal dress, he thinks that he may have some important engagement. Lamo tells him that he has no engagement except visiting him. He tries to explain the purpose of his visit, but he is nervous to express it openly. Lamo develops some courage and tries to express his wish to Chiboko. In the meantime, Chiboko thinks that he has come to borrow money and asks him to express it openly. After much hesitation, he admits that the fact that he wants to marry Chiboko's daughter Natalia, who is 25 years old. Chiboko feels happy and says that he will bring his daughter. He further assures that she will accept his proposal. When Lamo is left alone, he feels that his whole body is shaking. He thinks that Natalia is an excellent housekeeper. He has a weak heart and suffers from palpitation. He feels that the marriage alone can bring peace and regularity in his life. Natalia comes and she is surprised to see Lamo because her father has told her that there is a dealer who has come to buy something. She asks him if he is willing to have something to eat. She offers him smoke and talks about the weather. Since he seems to be looking better in his formal dress, she thinks that perhaps he is on his way to the ball. Lamo is still excited and unable to express the purpose of his visit. He talks meaninglessly about his old relations and Chiboko's relations. Finally, he invites trouble by saying that a Wallaby meadows touch her Bridgewoods. Natalia is shocked to hear that the Wallaby meadows belong to Lamo. She once again assures that meadows belong to her and not to Lamo at any cost. Lamo stands helpless and makes her understand the past history of Wallaby meadows. Natalia turns a deaf ear to Lamo's words and claims it as her own property. Lamo tries to prove his papers, but it is of no use. She tells him that they have owned a property for nearly 300 years. She is very adamant and refuses to give up what belongs to her. She is very angry and tells him that she will send her reapers immediately to the meadows. Lamo promises to turn them out and they shout at each other. The heated argument turns into quarrel and the marriage proposal is forgotten. There is a sudden twist in the argument. Chibokos also support his daughter, Natalia, in this regard. He tells Lamo that he cannot prove anything by shouting. He further tells him, leave the meadows to the peasants. Lamo becomes rude and Chiboko tells him to talk politely. They begin to scold each other. Lamo calls him a land grabber and tells him that he will prove in the court. Chiboko is also angry and calls him an intriguer. Moreover, he accuses his whole family. In this way, they begin to attack each other's family. Lamo talks ill of Chiboko's uncle, who has faced a trial in the court regarding the misappropriation. Chiboko tells Lamo that his grandfather has been a drunkard and his aunt has eloped with the architect. Lamo further says that the Chiboko's mother is humpbacked. So the two families unnecessarily drag their ancestors in their meaningless quarrel. The situation becomes worse and Lamo leaves the house of Chiboko. When Natalia comes to know from her father that Lamo has come to propose her, she begins to weep and falls into an armchair. She blames her father for not telling her truth before. She asks her father to bring him back to get apology. Chiboko rushes out to call him back. Lamo returns, but he seems to be in a wretched condition. Natalia speaks kindly now and tells him that the Wallaby meadows belong to him. She wants to avoid every possibility of dispute. She talks about Lamo's hunting expedition. She asks him if he is going on hunting soon. Lamo replies that he will be going for hunting after the harvest because his dog is lame at this moment. Natalia talks in praise of her dog and it leads to an argument between Lamo and Natalia once again. Natalia and Lamo fought over the superiority of their dogs, Trier and Flyer. Lamo was pained to hear that dispute many qualities. Trier had two major defects, that is, the dog was old as well as short in muscle. Lamo was proud of his dog's purebred and its well-sprung ribs. It was also a good hunter. On the other hand, Natalia's high pedigree, Flyer, was a bad hunter. She pointed out that her dog, Flyer, was better than Trier. She remarked that the Trier was old, ugly, and worn-out crab horse. She also called Trier a lame dog. Then a Lamo stated that his dog had become a lame since its leg had been bitten by some other dog. Though a Lamo had come there to propose Natalia as he wanted to marry her, they involved themselves in a silly arguments that all over petty issues. Their main purpose was sidelined in their dispute, but such a silly argument should never come in the way of matrimony. Rather, it is the attribute of tolerance and acceptance that paves the way to good relationship. Lamo feels excited and his heart is bursting. He falls into the chair and faints. The argument of Natalia ends in displeasure. She thinks that the Lamo is dead. She stays weeping and crying. Chekhov holds a glass of water to Lamo's lips, but he does not drink it. When he is in utter confusion what to do, Lamo slowly comes to his senses. Chekhov does not want to face any more unpleasant situations. He at once tells Lamo that his daughter is willing to marry him. In addition to that, he thrusts a Lamo's hand into his daughter's hand and offers his blessings. At last, the Lamo and Natalia kiss each other and they inhale their air of peace. Anton Chekhov satirizes marriage convention of wealthy family of Russia in 19th century. He has portrayed the characters who are highly argumentative from the beginning to end. It is a delightful and humorous one-act play. The moral of the story is one should learn to forgive and forget. Let us see the characteristic of Ivan Vasilyevich Lamo. Lamo is a long-time neighbor of Chekhov. He is 35 years old. He is a rich man and a landowner who has inherited his property from his aunt. This makes Chekhov secretly wish him to marry his daughter Natalia. He suffers from palpitation and sleeplessness. He is desperate to marry Natalia, the daughter of Chekhov. As for Lamo, he did not love her, though he was desperate to have a life partner and so marry Natalia. Lamo was, however, hesitant to ask for her hand from Chekhov. That made him beat around the bush and argue with Natalia and leave without proposing. Thus, we can find that Lamo's conditions overpower the other traits he has. He wants to lead a steady and regular life. So he visits the house of Chekhov to propose her daughter Natalia. He is an eligible, assertive, rich bachelor who will be liked by any girl. However, we also know that he is a nervous, lacks confidence and is prone to talk in a long-winded manner. He is a good man by nature, but he is often excited by others. We see the characteristic of Stephen Stefanovich Chekhov. Chekhov is a neighbor of Lamo. When Lamo visits his house, he welcomes him with a warm handshake. He is surprised to see Lamo in his formal dress and thinks that he may have been having some important engagements. He is a responsible father and very much interested to arrange marriage for his daughter with Lamo. Chekhov feels happy when Lamo expresses his wish to marry his daughter. At the end of the play, he thrusts Lamo's hand into his daughter's hand and offers his blessings. He wants to be peaceful in life after the marriage of his daughter. We see the characteristic of Natalia Stepanova. Natalia is the heroine of the play. She is the daughter of Chekhov. She is 25 years old. She is still unmarried and it causes a great worry to her father. She is an educated woman. She is an excellent housekeeper. She is highly hospitable. Natalia is also rather hypocritical. When Natalia first enters the room, she greets Lamo with a warmth and is very gracious as she permits him to smoke and compliments upon his appearance. He is highly stubborn and argumentative. He is shocked to hear that the Wallaby meadows belong to Lamo. She claims that the meadows belong to her. Natalia wishes that somebody should love her and propose to her. Her father calls her a lovesick cat. When her father finally reveals to Natalia that Lamo have actually come to propose her, she is infuriated, blaming her father for causing the neighbor to depart without making proposal. When she learns that the Lamo has come to propose her, she apologizes to him and tells him that the Wallaby meadows belongs to him. Though she argues with Lamo, She has a soft corner for him. At the end of the play, they kiss each other and reconcile. Lamo has actually successfully proposed his love. The theme of the play, proposal. The proposal throws a lights on the lifestyle of the landlords of Russia in 19th century. The farm laborers worked on their farms, so these landlords led a life of ease and comfort. They led an idle life. They were full of vanity and pride. They quarreled over petty things. In the play, Lamo and Natalia have a dispute over a piece of land. They quarrel again over the qualities of their dogs. Chibokov's, Natalia's father, instead of pacifying them, joins them. He and Lamo abuse each other. All of them behave in a very funny way. The play also brings a light the social life of a landowners of the 19th century. The unmarried grown-up daughter was considered a great burden by the parents. Chibokov curses himself for being the father of Natalia. An aged bachelor was also looked down upon in society. This theme has been presented nicely through the character of Lamo and Natalia. There were two disputes in the play proposal. The two disputes are the Valavi meadows and the dogs, namely Trier and Flyer. The meadows. Lamo and Chebokov were very rich landlords. They quarreled over a tiny piece of land called Valavi meadows. The Valavi meadows are between Bridgewoods and Burnt Marsh, which are in Natalia's land. The meadows belong to Lamo's aunt's grandmother, who gave them to peasants Chibokov's grandfather on the condition that they would prepare bricks for her. The peasants used the land for 40 years and started regarding it as their own. Dispute between the dogs. Natalia and Lamo fought over the superiority of their dogs, Trier and Flyer. Natalia's dog name is Flyer and Lamo's dog name is Trier. Trier is short in muscles, whereas the Flyer is overshot jaw. Trier is old and ugly, whereas the Flyer is young. Trier cost at 125 rubles, whereas the Flyer cost 85 rubles. Trier is a lame and a purebred dog, whereas the Flyer is pedigree. A Trier is a very good hunter, but the Flyer is a bad hunter. Thank you.